What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Helmet to Helmet 49ers podcast. Today, we will be doing the Seahawks versus 49ers post-game podcast. I'm your host, JT. That's me, and my co-host is my dad.
What's up, faithful?
And first, don't forget to like
and subscribe.
Okay, let's begin. Let's start off with the plays, important plays that happened. At the beginning of the game, Eric Armstead got a sack. Finally, it's been a while since he got a sack.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I saw that tummy.
Yeah, it was a good sack. Finally, it has been a long time. It was a good win for the Niners, huh? Wildcard weekend against the rivals Seahawks.
It won 41-23.
Yeah, it was close in the beginning, but yeah,
We pulled away.
We did pull away. It was we were down by 17 to 16 and at halftime. So yeah, all these little plays added up in the first half, and then we came out and busted some chops in the second half. That was a relief for us.
Also, at the beginning of the game on offense, CMC ran a 68-yarder, but it wasn't for a touchdown. He was running pretty fast, 20.8 miles per hour.
I know you like to track that stuff.
Yes.
On Next Gen.
Yeah.
It was an awesome run. Of course, we're kind of used to these things now. Still excited whenever we see it, but not a surprise. CMC is that dynamic.
And then CMC also made another great play with a 4-yard receiving touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He can catch, he can run, he can do everything.
He could do it all. Yep, exactly. And
even throw.
I think that 68-yard run that you just talked about, I think there was a great block by Ayuk. We got to give him some props for not just his route running and his catching abilities, but he's also doing some great downfield blocking.
Yeah, he's one of the best on our team to do that. And then Deebo Samuel did a 21-yard gain for first down. And this one was really important because it turned it up for the team. Because Jonathan Abram, Seahawks safety, he pulled Deebo Samuel's leg and he kind of lifted Deebo up. And then there was all this fighting. We didn't get to see any of the fighting because they were just stuck on that replay.
Yeah, the TV's cameras did not show any of the fighting. We just heard a lot of yelling in the background, but
we just heard a bunch of boo from the stadium.
And then next thing you know, they take a shot of the field, and all the teams are on the field and facing each other and looking like they're going to fight pretty soon. We missed all that on the TV broadcast, but yeah, they said Deebo. They replayed some of it, but you can't really see, even from two views of the replay, you couldn't really see what exactly Jonathan Abrams was doing to his ankle, but supposedly he was twisting it and lifting him off the ground. And there was a lot of players that took offense to that. And first one that I heard was Brandon Ayuk came to his aid and was ready to fight the Seahawks team over what they had done to his fellow wide receiver. So once again, props to Ayuk on that one. But there was no flag called on that, any of that.
He should have been ejected.
Yeah, that, and even the fighting, nothing happened. There was no flags, which in some cases it's a good thing. Just let them break it up. There was, hopefully no punches were thrown, I think. So just let them play football.
And then from here, we just went crazy. First, Brock Purdy, a 1-yard QB sneak. He finally did it with some help, of course, from CMC. Pushed him in. He's not the best at QB sneaks. Not as good as Jimmy Garoppolo, but he did it.
Yeah, that was finally a QB sneak that worked. Didn't seem like he would have gotten in on his own, and he needed a lot of help from linemen and from, like you said, CMC to come from behind and push the pile forward. So I think he needs a little more practice on that, but I'm glad he succeeded in getting that touchdown. That will add to his little repertoire of things. And he'll just need to practice that a bit more.
And then, back to defense, Charles Omenihu got a strip sack, and then Nick Bosa recovered it. Nick Bosa didn't get any sacks, but all that matters is we won because there's no such thing as a Bosa watch anymore. That will start next season.
Yep. So, yeah, Bosa didn't get any flashy numbers. Surprisingly, well, not surprisingly,
He got
it's
tackled
happened
for
before.
loss, right?
But like those rookie offensive tackles, they kind of kept him in check most of the time. He didn't get any sacks, and um, he didn't run wild on that offensive line. So, yeah, Menahu, came through big time in this game.
He was a star of the defensive lineman.
Yeah, that, as many people have said, that play, that strip sack, that turned around the whole game again, because they were in, I think, at the 14-yard line on our side, and they were close to scoring at least a field goal, and that totally turned the tide.
And then on offense, Elijah Mitchell, a 7-yard receiving touchdown.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one. That was a good play. Purdy got out of a little bit of danger and was scrambling and found Elijah Mitchell wide open on the right side.
He didn't go crazy too. He just got that one receiving touchdown, but he can be a receiving threat for a running back.
Yeah. Elijah Mitchell didn't do much exactly on the ground today, or actually at all, besides that touchdown pass. His numbers weren't really productive, but we know what he can do. It just wasn't his game, his day, but give him more time, more chances. We're sure he's going to be an awesome player for us.
He already is, in my opinion. And then we went for a 2-point conversion on there, and Kittle caught the ball, and he got the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that was close to the line. It was a quick pass to the right, and Kittle caught it right at the line and got that 2-point, which was a great extra 2 points to widen the lead even more.
And then we were leading 31-17, I believe. And then this was the craziest play on offense. Deebo Samuel, even crazier than CMC's 68-yard rush. Deebo Samuel's 74-yard touchdown.
He
reached top speed like 20.36 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, he ran down that left sideline, and Brandon Ayuk once again was down there, giving a late, deep, down the field block for Deebo, and that helped him spring it all the way to the end zone. It was amazing. There was like 4 defensive people around him trying to get him, but somehow Deebo shuffled through, balanced on that sideline, and just kept going and sped down to the end zone. So that was an awesome catch and run.
And then back to defense, Deommodore Lenoir got an interception. He picked it off from Gio Smith, who was intended for Tyler Lockett. He jumped right in front of him and caught it. He, like you said during the game, he needed that one for a confidence boost, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Lenoir has always been picked on because, his Travarius Ward is manning and shutting down. Well,
it was opposite. It was opposite.
Yeah, Travarius Ward was kind of letting a lot go this time. I mean, that's Metcalf is a good receiver, so there's going to be some losses and some wins. He's not going to dominate over him all the time. He is a quality receiver. But Lenoir did a good job, and his resiliency is what I'm most impressed with, because he gets picked on, thrown on a lot, and he gives up some here and there, but he usually locks it down for the most part. So this going with his instincts and reading the quarterback in the route and jumping it and making the interception to pretty much seal the game for us was a great stride for Lenoir. I'm happy for him.
As you mentioned, Charles Omenihu dominated this wild card game, and he got a sack. Was it a strip sack again? I don't think he was aware it was a strip sack, because he started celebrating when he sacked him. But they recovered it. It's still a great play. And back to Deebo Samuel. He got a breakout game. This is the type of Deebo I remember seeing from last year. It was just amazing to relive last year's Deebo
Mm-hmm.
because he got over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. And
Yeah.
he did pretty good on the rushing game too.
Yeah, sure did.
He
Yeah.
got 133. He got 133 receiving yards uh, and one touchdown. 22.2 average
Mm-hmm.
per reception
Yeah.
on 6 receptions.
Yeah, he led the team in targets with 9. So, like I was hoping that Shanahan would release the beast that is Deebo Samuel, and they targeted him the most out of the whole team for receiving. Um, and he looked great coming off of the injury, and he had a little bit of some play during the Raiders game, but that was just a little warm up. For this game, he was used a lot, and he showed what he still had, which some breakaway speed and definitely a penchant for breaking tackles. That is his calling card, and he still got it. He still got it. He's still exciting. You just give him the ball, and anything can happen whenever he gets the ball. He can break like 4 or 5 tackles, scramble and juke, and get to the end zone. So that's what Deebo can give us. And since it's the playoffs, there's no reason to be holding back. Bring out Deebo, and defenses beware, basically.
If anyone who's watching went to the game, tell me if they were chanting Deebo because they have to be chanting Deebo from that amazing performance.
Yeah, we were hearing some chants, but on TV, it's just a whole lot of people chanting something. We just can't tell what it is.
Bit off rhythm.
um, Besides Debo, CMC had a great game too, right?
119 rushing yards, 7.9 average.
Whew.
Oh, by the way, you said Deebo would have a good game. You're right, and finally he did.
Yeah, he had a great game, man. This is the playoff Debo, man. This is a different beast right here.
On 15 rushes, 119 yards from McCaffrey, and 7.9. Longest was 68 yards. Of course, that really long one in the beginning of the game. And I hope I'm kind of used to these type of games now because he's been rushing pretty good lately. I feel like it's always like 100 yards and then not 100 yards, like less than 50 yards, and then 100 yards and less than 50 yards. That's how I feel.
Yeah, you could be. I haven't looked at the stats week to week, but yeah. But I think he's coming on stronger now. I think Shanahan's going to give him the ball a lot more, and I don't know. The old line is playing better. I got to say, they're opening the holes too. They're protecting Purdy for the most part. So the old line has been playing pretty well together and down the stretch, which is the perfect time for us. Besides CMC being productive offensively, he's also, a lot of the fake handoffs or tosses to McCaffrey distracts the defense.
That's how Deebo got that 74-yard touchdown. Everyone went that way. He was wide open.
Yeah, everybody ran towards McCaffrey's way to the right, and then they tossed a short pass over to Deebo to the left, and he just took it to the house after that. CMC's value is more than just the stats that you see.
His value's more than just the picks, too. Because we give up a lot of picks for him, and I think it's starting to become worth it.
Definitely. Most definitely. No, I am happy that we got him. Whatever. I don't care about the picks now. All right. So, of course, we always gloss over other people offensively.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy needs to once again get like the game ball here. Was it with the Raiders? I was thinking he would go 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I was like a game behind, I guess.
330.
This is the game where he passed over 300 yards.
Yep. 332 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, took 1 sack, and a QB rating of 131.9. 3.5.
Okay, now he did great. You can see by the stats at the end, it looks great. In the beginning, it looks kind of frightening, right? Because if you remember the first play, I think it was like a real wobble ball, and things were
It's wet out there.
it's wet, and there was some of the times where players were open, but he missed them. He looked like maybe the pressure was getting to him a little bit. His first playoff game and everything was the pressure was a bit much. It seemed like, and I was getting a little nervous. You don't know how he's gonna take it. This is his first time, so he might have. I mean, I think he admitted that it was nerves, but he calmed down. Getting into the second quarter after halftime, he was pretty efficient, real efficient after that. So, uh, here's to Purdy for getting through those little tough spots again.
In the first half, he was 9-19. And after the game, he was 18 of 30. He only missed 2 throws. Just pretty good comparison from last time. And hopefully he can not get pressured anymore in the divisional round. We don't know who we're going to play yet. But we can play the Vikings, Bucks, or Cowboys.
Right now, the Vikings, I think, are beating the. No, sorry. The Giants are actually beating the Vikings
24-21
in the third quarter. 7:46 left, so it's a close game still. Daniel Jones has been running amok against the Vikings, but it might not be enough. We'll see. We'll see who we get to play at Levi's next weekend. So what else has happened during the game, huh?
Injuries. Juwan Jennings, he had an ankle sprain and he returned, while Samson Ebicom also had an ankle sprain, but he did not return.
Yeah, but I did read that Shanahan said if the game was, still close, he would have came back. But since it wasn't, he just rested Ebicom. So it's not that bad. So next week, I believe both players should be fine. We thought we got away injury-free, but hey, these are minor injuries, not too bad. So glad that happened because we've been as healthy as can be this season coming into the postseason. So perfect timing. Let's keep this up.
And that wraps up for today's podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And go Niners. Hopefully we can pull off the divisional round, whoever it is.
Yes. Go Niners.
And goodbye.